Today we're making Nashville style hot chicken pork belly burn-ins with a thick and sticky honey glaze. Welcome back, it's Mike C from HLMBBQ, and unlike Liz, my wife, I have never been to Nashville. When she went, she picked up some incredible hot chicken seasoning, which is what inspired these ridiculously good hot chicken pork belly burn-ins. Maybe I should just call them hot pork belly burn-ins. I don't know what to call them. They're incredible though. Now start by removing the weird stuff you don't want to eat on here from the pork belly. Extra fat on top, like the silver skin, anything that's loose. And then I like to make even scores going down the belly so I know approximately how wide I want the cubes to be. Now, the cubes shrink by about 30%, so I would say make them about 2 inches by 2 inches, or just get as close as you can. They're gonna be bite size, or 2 bite size, I guess, depending on how big your mouth is, and then make a nice little happy face out of all these little cubes once you've got them perfectly cubed up. I don't know how many times I'm going to say cubed, a lot more. Now grab mustard as a binder. We like mustard as a binder. You could use olive oil, probably more appropriate here would be hot sauce. Now get hot chicken seasoning. You could probably Google a great recipe, though this seasoning turned out incredible. It's got a nice thick coating and it's really well balanced with a decent amount of heat. Okay, now you got all these cubes. What are you gonna do with them? You gotta get them to your smoker. So try to grab a metal tray that has holes in it so that the pork belly isn't sitting in its own fat. We wanna get a nice thick bark. One of these metal trays will work just fine. Alternatively, you could go find one of those metal mesh things that you use on your smoker. Anyways, fire up your smoker about 250 degrees. Today we're using our 2012 Traeger. Use whatever you got. These are hot, so just be careful, don't burn yourself. The cubes look amazing already. I mean, they're just like, they're already perfect little bite-sized pieces. The seasoning's already stuck on there and it's looking good. Almost as pretty as this shot that Liz got, standing in the smoke, looking like a dork, trying to put these meats on the smoker. Any smoker that you've got will work. Your guests just want them to taste good. So that's what our recipe is going to help you with, making them taste good. After they're on for about 3.5 hours, you could temp them if you want, but really we just want them looking kind of like a crusty old cube. I don't know how else to describe it. Look at this thing. It's a crusty old cube. They're absolutely delicious, but right now they're not rendered enough, so we got to break them down. The best way to break them down is going to be using a type of braise, or almost like steaming them in there. Grab yourself a mop. We use apple cider vinegar, soy sauce, and water, and then you're going to want some more fat. We used olive oil, but use butter if you've got it, it's better. Now, we want to bring a little sweet to the heat. It's one of the best ways to get flavors to mix. We're going to add brown sugar to it, and then we're going to add even more of that hot chicken Nashville style seasoning. We want to reinforce flavors, and that's what's nice about having this type of seasoning on hand, is you can just keep adding it to it and these pork cubes can absorb it. They like the salt. Add some of this hot honey sauce that we got. It's in chili. There's like chilies infused into it. Grandma Kelly got it for us. Thank you, Grandma Kelly. And then a little more spray if you want. Toss them all together, give them a wrap, and we're gonna pop them back onto the smoker for another 1.5 hours. You could also do it at the oven at this point. They're not going to get any more smoke. So it's been 1.5 hours. Look at that steam rolling off of it. Grab your probe and make sure that they're probe tender. We're not going for temperature right now, though. If you want to know the temp, because you got to know, it's probably 203 degrees Fahrenheit or so. Just make sure they're super tender, okay? And look at these things. They sat on the smoker for another 15 minutes to tack up, and we're just piling up this huge pile of magical pork. We're gonna finish it with a little more of that honey glaze. You could use regular honey. You could forget the sweet completely and just stick with the heat. Do what feels right. This is gonna be your recipe at the end of the day. And just look at these little pork cubes. They're bright red from that seasoning and the smoke, and they've got this little squish to it. It's like a little pork pillow. The bite is unbelievable. The fat has rendered down. There's a slight chew from the meat that's running between the fat, but it's nothing that's weird. It's all good flavors, and that's because we went by probing it, not just by the internal temperature. The flavor's crazy. It's got that sweet glaze. It's got that heat on it. It makes you want to do a little dance like that. It starts with sweet, and then you get that little fiery snap at the end. I mean, these things are incredible. You have to try them. Stick around for next week. We're going to be busting out a holiday pork belly recipe like you've never seen. Thank you for everyone that continues to show up to watch our channel. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. It's what keeps this channel going. Much appreciated to everybody. Now get out and make some pork belly, hot chicken, whatever these things are called, hot chicken pork belly burn-ins. We will see you guys in a week.